All right, Song of Solomon, chapter 2, a chapter in which I want to take the opportunity to take a do-over on my first attempt at describing what I think I see going on in this chapter that we will call Him, our vineyard. Understanding that that term is literally going to come up in chapter 2, round about verse 15, where it is going to say, catch the foxes for us, the little foxes that spoil the vineyards. For our vineyards are in full blossom, or really just in blossom. Understanding that I took a one-way approach to interpreting that verse in a chapter or a book that is full of metaphors, meaning there are times when the literal words used are representing something else. And in this book, it is hard to escape the way in which they use metaphors like vineyards for sometimes what seems like just flat out hormones. However, the more literal meaning that I originally saw in the verse seemed to endorse the way in which, in chapter 1, she recognized the way that they were moving from becoming two to one people with one property. Likewise, it seemed that in this way, he might also be acknowledging the way in which they are moving from becoming two people with two separate sets of stuff to becoming a single household with a shared couch, a shared home, and now in this chapter, shared vineyards. In this chapter where she does much of the narration, however, much of that narration is devoted to words that he has spoken to her. Beginning in verse 2, which reads, as a lily among brambles, so is my love among the young women. And when I originally saw that phrase, I associated brambles with nothing but thorns. But after pulling pictures of brambles, I realized that they are thorny bushes that actually produce fruit. And at least this man's perspective began to realize that what he may be appreciating is a type of beauty that comes without the thorns, or a type of beauty that comes without all the extra drama. And as the Song of Solomon will go on to compliment her beauty, frequently what it seems to be doing is once again going beyond superficial compliments to offering her a level of reassurance that acknowledges that even though it seems everyone recognizes her beauty now, it wasn't necessarily always the case that everybody recognized her beauty back when. Back when, as we noticed in chapter 1, she seemed to live as an outcast even amongst her own brothers. And he is not the only one ready with the compliments, because in this chapter we seem to see another theme developing, and that is mutuality. As in verse 3, we notice, as an apple tree among the trees of the forest, so is my beloved among the young men. She's returning the favor, and that will not be the only place we see mutuality in this chapter, where toward the end in verse 16, it is going to conclude, my beloved is mine and I am his. Quite possibly helping us to see that beyond the basic meaning of the we belong together language, he is offering her the opportunity to be more than just another concubine. And that still might not mean much to a man who would eventually have 700 wives. However, as the chapters progress, they're going to seem to make it clear of the way in which she is distinguished, even amongst the queens. And recognizing the way in which Solomon is offering her more than just a mere opportunity, she is going to return more than just an opportunistic affection.